Well, hello again. Welcome to a reading through of Odyssey, Book 5. And I got up to line 424, I think. So we left poor Odysseus caught in the surf. He's trying to get out of the water, and the very rough waves sent by Poseidon are causing him grief. And we continue on there. Chaos hot, and while the chaos, like heos, and then with Tophra balancing it. So while he was debating, literally throwing back and forth these things in his mind and in his heart, so while that was happening, a great wave, now Ferre is imperfect, began to carry him against the harsh shore. Entheke aporinus drufthe. Now again, we've got a preverb here with the main verb. This is from druptomai. And the rinus is accusative plural, but it's an accusative, the grammarians say, of a part affected. So to do it literally, it is something like he, we've got a ke there, he would have been flayed with respect to his skins, it's plural here. We translate it other way around and say that his skin would have been ripped off. And again, we've got to supply the ket for the next verb again. And the sun is again a preverb from arachthe. Aorist passive from erasso, to strike. And his bones, or to smash really, his bones would have been smashed together. I may accept, this is a very common trope in Homer, something would have happened with a ket, and then Ame, except that the god, of course, always intervenes. So except that the grey-eyed goddess Athena cast, well, we have to supply something here, cast an idea or a thought or something into his mind, and he, epeseumenos, hastening or keenly hastening forth, he took hold of the, as taking a genitive, partitive genitive, he took hold of the rock with both his hands, and he held onto, this is from aketo, it's an imperfect without augment, he held onto it, so again it's taking a partitive genitive, stenakon, yelling out, crying out, while a great wave paralthi passed beside him, or passed over him. Kai tomin hos hup alukse. And the host with that accent, it must mean thus. He escaped, this is from hupo plus alusko, and he escaped, so thus he escaped, and the top has to really refer back to the kuma, I think. Thus he escaped it, and then we got a men and de, but the palirothion, this is the back flow, so the wave comes forward, and then as it does, you get a backflow on the wave. The back flow in turn struck him as he was hastening, as he was moving on. And embale, it cast him, telu must be adverbial here, far away on the sea. So it cast him far out to sea. As when pulupodos thalames ex el komenoia, and we get a genitive absolute here, this is from pulapos, apus, many-footed thing, so often translated cuttlefish, could be an octopus or something, so I'll say cuttlefish. So as when a cuttlefish being dragged from ex helco, and this is passive, being dragged out from thalames, it's normally the bedroom, but here it's its lair where it sleeps. So just as when a cuttlefish is dragged from its lair, genitive absolute, the pukenai lainges. Pukenos means thick, but here it's probably many or something. Lainges is from lainx. It's lainx with a psi. It's a very rare word. I think it's only here in all Greek, and this is the plural. So as when and many pebbles cling to. This is middle. So cling to it. Sorry, I should say are held by. It's passive, isn't it? So and many pebbles are held by. Or cling against its suckers. This again is a fairly rare word. It refers to any, you can see the cotylet root in here for this cup. It refers to any cup-shaped hollow. But in the plural, the word, this is a dative plural, I think here. It's the old fin ending. So in the plural, it's used for suckers. So just as when the cuttlefish is being dragged from its lair, and many pebbles are held against its suckers, or held by its suckers, thus the skin, it's plural here, but that's from rhinos is the thing, or actually there are two various forms of this. This is rhinos. It's actually feminine sometimes and masculine other times, but here it's second declension. You do get rhinos as well, but this is rhinos, second declension, feminine. So thus the skin, and here's that apodruptomai again, was ripped off from literally his bold hands, and then of him, for the outoof, against the rocks. So thus the skin was stripped off against his skin was ripped off against the rocks from his bold hands, and the great wave covered him. And there, now again we get this ket plus ame on the next line. So, and there, in fact, wretched Odysseus would have perished beyond his moros, beyond his fate. Normally it's that noun we've had before, connected with meiromai. It means your portion in life, your lot in life, so your fate. So he would have perished beyond his fate, except that grey-eyed Athena gave to him epiphrosune, gave to him wisdom. You see, this is an interesting reworking of line 427 that we just read before. There it was ame epiphresen theke, and now it's ame epiphrosune doke. Interesting to compare the two. And ex anadus, so rising up out from the wave. Now the tate is bit rough, a bit difficult here. It's sort of in loose apposition to everything before, but in particular it's referring to this wave, and it's sort of like all the water, all the waves perhaps belched onto the shore, onto the mainland. It's a rather odd thing here. So he leaps up, and the rest of it belched onto the mainland, and he swam parex outside of it, looking to looking to the land, if perchance, or if anywhere he might find, this is an optative from F Hurisco, if perchance he might find And we have this line here, which is really a copy of 418 that we had before. It's these aeonis, these beaches or shoreline, that is paraplagas, that meet the sea at an angle, so they're not parallel to the sea, so aslant to the sea, and the limenas and the harbours of the sea. So so shores which are aslant and the harbours of the sea. But when indeed Hickser, this is from Hico, when he came, in fact, swimming beside the mouth of the fair flowing river Tay, at that point Aristos Koros, the best land, the best patch of land, appeared for him. Laos Petraon, literally smooth of rocks. So we would say something like free from rough stones, but literally smooth of rocks. And there was the epi I think must go with the ain. There was there a skepas from the wind, a shelter. There was a shelter from the wind. Egno de prorionta kayuxitihon katathumon. Now I think here in this line, the participle, slightly awkward here. I think we have to understand that the river god he's about to pray to is the subject of the participle. So he recognized, understand, the god flowing ahead and prayed in his heart or in his soul. Cluthi anax hotis esi, hotis for hostis, and there's that usual cluthi when you call to a god, hear me. So listen, O Lord, whoever you are. He's not sure who this god is. So listen, O Lord, whoever you are. I am coming to you, you who are polyliston, with a double lambda for meter. It means much prayed for, sought with many prayers. So it's accusative agreeing with se. So I'm coming to you, you the one that I've prayed for very muchly, having escaped the enipas. These are the reprimands. The noun is enipe, it's first declension feminine. Reprimands and or rebukes of Poseidon from the sea. So having fled from the sea, you've got to take this really with both of these. Fleeing from the sea and fleeing the reprimands of Poseidon. Oidos mentesti kaiathanatoi sithioisi. An oidos here is someone who deserves respect. So this is we've got a generalizing tet here, notice as well. So this is a generalized statement. The tet often indicates that. So he is worthy of respect even by the immortal gods. Whoever of men, hostis goes together, whoever of men might come alomenos, wandering, so as a wanderer. Thus now also I am come to your stream and your knees. So this is again, it's metaphorical here. To come to your knees means I come as a suppliant. And I am come mogesas, having laboured pola muchly, the adverbial use. Come, have pity, O Lord, and I boast, or perhaps I pray, to be extricates, a suppliant for you. So I pray to be your suppliant. Thus he spoke, and it, this is the god, the stream, forthwith caused to cease his flowing, his flow, personal adjective. So the stream immediately ceased its flow and held back the wave and made in front of him a calm for him. So he made for him across there in front of a galene, a calm. And he saved him, or brought him safely into the Procoas. This is the place where the river, the mouth of the river, where it flows into the sea. So this is genitive after this one. So into the mouth of the river, or perhaps literally mouths of the river. And he camps it. So he let both his knees and his strong hands, he let them campset, probably let them droop or relax. Literally bend, so he bent both his knees and his strong hands. In other words, he let them just relax. He didn't fight against the river. For his dear heart, dead meto, this is a pluperfect passive, had been tamed, hali, by the salt sea, from hals. Hals often used of the sea, it just means salt, but it's often used by metonymy for the salt sea. Oide de croa panta, and all his flesh, neuter plural singular verb, or literally, yes, all his flesh, all his skin. This is from oid, well, it's normally oidao, this must be an oideo, it's the verb to swell. It's the same root that you get Oedipus the king from. It's, so all his skin began to swell, it's an imperfect, and the much sea, keiki is from keikio, it's an imperfect here. It is connected with kio, but there is a verb keikio. Apparently it's some kind of aeolic form. It means to gush forth. So all the sea began to gush forth, an for ana, about his mouth and his nose. Literally noses, boy. Literally skin, isn't it? Yep. So this is from ris. This must be from ris rhinos, the third declension noun. So in other words, a lot of water started pouring out, starting gushing forth about his mouth and his nose, and he, accordingly, apneustos, he was breathless and speechless. And speechless, and he lay oligopelion. This is a very funny word. It means semi-conscious, in a feeble state. You can see the oligos, and I'm not sure what the root of this is here, but it means with little strength, in a feeble state. So the word only occurs here. There are other words with a similar meaning, which are also very rare, but this one I think only occurs here. So he lay there in a feeble state, and a terrible tiredness came upon him. But when, in fact, pneuto, you can see the M and the pneo here, when he got his breath back, literally, and his heart gathered in his mind, so we might say when he had gathered his thoughts, at that time indeed, apo goes preverb with luce, he released the crademnon. This is the veil we had mentioned before, the veil of the goddess, from himself. This is the reflexive. So he released from himself the veil of the veil of the goddess. Greek will use the masculine form even for goddesses, so it isn't oiot, but it's the goddess. And Methaken, oh yes, he let it go. So the it is referring back to the crademnon. He let it go into the river flowing back into the sea. This is a very rare word, the halimurayanta, and the great wave began to carry it back, kata ruon, into the stream. But accordingly, Ino, she's the one who gave it to him, immediately received it in her dear hands, and he, liastes, from liasdamai, to withdraw from the river, hup ex clinthe, something like he almost collapsed, he sank down in the reed, or in the reeds we'd say in English. It's almost like he collapsed in the reeds, and he kissed the grain-giving fertile land, the ploughed land. And being vexed, accordingly, he said to his great-hearted soul. And we'll have to wait till the next recording to see what he actually says.